Good afternoon and welcome to NYCryptoTalk. Today's topic of discussion is going to be on Internet Node Token. After putting up a poll on my Twitter account, I asked my viewers what they would like to see next. So I put up a couple of items that either interested me or they were getting a lot of feedback on Twitter or social media, and just things that I generally have kind of in my portfolio that I just wanted to go over and see what people thought about it as well. So I put up a poll for Internet Node Token, Bodos, InvestFeed, and Blue, and the majority won with Internet Node Token. So there are a couple of videos out there on YouTube. There's some reviews out there. Everybody did a great job. I'm not trying to be the first. Obviously, people have gone over what their take is, what the comparison against IOTA is, where the market cap stands, the growth potential. I just kind of want to go over my general opinion. I'm not, this is not investment advice. This is just kind of my path to success as far as understanding where we're going in our market, where I see the future. And one of my biggest things as far as future blockchain technologies is IoT. Why do I say that? Because the world we live in today is becoming more technologically advanced. We're using everything to kind of interconnect. And that's what IoT is. We're using the technology to connect different devices, different aspects of life. We're using this in business. We're using this in our home life. This is in hospitals. This is all over the world. So that's my take on things. That's why I want to go over this, because I feel IoT is one of the game changers, one of the disruptors for the blockchain, for just general world view. So without further ado, INT. So INT's website is now up. I know people had issues with it before. It seems their English version is now working. So that is fantastic. We don't need to translate anything. I will be able to go through things. I'm not going to go too many details. The white paper is available. There is an English version. I will kind of go over that just briefly. And the project, where they see themselves and why they feel that IoT is the future, and where they differentiate from others out there. So INT plans to create a new generation of IoT systems based on blockchain technology and establish an economy-driven blockchain application platform for IoT. How does this differ from IOTA? IOTA is based on the Tangle technology. INT is going to be one of the first IoT on the blockchain. I believe there's another company out there, and I know there are some RFID driven companies like INTChain, INTChain. So INT is more generalized when it comes to IoT sensors, working with businesses. I know INTChain is very niche for high-end goods. INTChain is, from what I've seen, has more general ideas as well. So not going to do any comparisons here. I just think INT and the IoT industry is very big, and I think INT just does have a ton of potential and a ton of room to grow. So why do I think it has a lot of room to grow? Well, looking at a Forbes article here, this is basically a collection of Internet of Things forecasts from multiple vendors, multiple leaders in the industry for statistics, and where they see IoT going and where it is right now. So just looking at 2016, they have about $157 billion. That's how big the IoT market is. Some of them are saying $457 billion by 2020, with a compounding annual growth rate of approximately 30%. So what does that mean for us? Basically, we're looking at threefold at least in the IoT sensors and the IoT development community. There's going to be a huge influx of businesses out there using this. There's going to be more people at homes using this. There's going to be more, governments using this to track just the way things are being done. So discrete manufacturing, transportation and logistics, utilities will lead all industries in IoT spending by 2020, averaging $40 billion each. So in this article, which I will link in the description below, you'll see where they kind of sum up the different industries where they feel the size of IoT will be in 2020, how big it's going to be. So here you can see the purple is consumer electronics, so you can think Nest thermostats, smartwatches, all these different devices that people use on a day-to-day basis. And then you see here in yellow is automotive. As you know, most car vehicle manufacturers nowadays are linking up their cars to the network so that they can get more information on your car vehicle status, things for emergencies, for diagnostics. Healthcare is huge. I see a much bigger growth in healthcare, and that is my industry that I work in right now, being used in the IoT world. Energy and utilities, retail, construction, and industrial. So there's a huge growth potential. Going down here, just looking at this industry, I like this infographic as far as IoTs, where they see the world going. Here you can see Morgan Stanley is saying by 2020 there'll be $110 billion in the IoT market. Industry Arc is saying almost $125 billion by 2021. This one I really like. So, impact on the global economy. Accenture estimates the IoT could add $14.2 trillion to the economy in 2020. So this is just saying that with the IoT centers, with the IoT development, all the things that come bundled within the IoT community, it could lead to $14.2 trillion into the world economy. So that's fantastic. I mean, here on the breakdown on the right, you'll see where IoT either, I don't know if this is spending or if this is development, but here you can see United States, China, Germany, United Kingdom, obviously United States and China being the two main countries, probably the two biggest superpowers in the world. And this is where either manufacturing or utilization will be. So looking at that, you can see where the growth potential is for the IoT market. This is a long-term hold for me. I am not looking on offloading this. This is something that I am slowly accruing because I think INT, especially with their market, just China alone can have potential of hundreds of billions of nodes accessing their network. So China's Internet of Things does have a great potential. Looking at their team, so going back to their website, and this is where I mentioned all the different impacts of the IoT. So smart grid, smart agriculture, transportation, home, medical, logistics, environmental protection, military, and security. So this is where IoT literally can touch almost every aspect of the world. Going into the team, why I think INT has a much better backbone when it comes to the IoT world than the likes of IOTA. Most of the members of the INT come from some of the earliest IoT developers in China. They've accumulated a solid foundation when it comes to their links to other companies, to their background. They have those connections, those, the word skips me. They have those connections. They know where everything is going in the IoT world. Therefore, having been well established with well-known companies, companies they've worked for in the past, it allows for a better understanding of where they can go. One of them being the internet company Rough. Rough is one of the investors and advisors, Roy Lee. So Rough is one of the largest software companies for IoT devices. It has been said that they are now the number one. Now they are the number one largest developer-supported IoT operating system surpassing Raspberry Pi. So they build IoT devices, they sell IoT devices. If you go to their website, you can buy boards and create your own IoT devices. It's very cool. Look forward to getting into one of these things one day, just like the Raspberry Pi, which I played around with before. So this is pretty cool. So this is one of the companies, one of the backers. So looking at the INT team, just in general, just to kind of go through high-level things as far as their accomplishments and why I think they're going to lead the pack when it comes to this. So China's first generation remote man-made life condition detection based on GPS wearable clothing. That's awesome. China's first anesthesia depth tester concept products. China's first CDMA switch, Huawei's first industrial routing hardware, high-speed rail signal, DDoS protection equipment, interbank clearance blockchain application system, as well as an ETH-based car networking blockchain application, which is basically an automatic traffic interchange system. So obviously there's a lot of things going on. They have a good team. They actually show all their accomplishments, which is great because a lot of people don't give a lot of information. So one of the other main people on their advisory board here is Tan Lee. He has written a couple of books, more than a dozen books related to blockchain. One of them is called Blockchain 2.0, and he's also one of the founders of the North American Association of Blockchain. So why does this matter? So they have a great team. They have a great tech team. They also have a great advisor team. So one of the other great deals that they have right now is in November they got a partnership with Zhejiang Pharmaceutical Co., which is basically a smart packaging company that will deal with the distribution of over 1,000 upstream suppliers and over 18,000 downstream end users. So basically it is a pharmaceutical company, and they're going to utilize the INT platform for, I'm assuming, tracking and dealing with their supply chain. So this is the company that I just referenced, Zhejiang Pharmaceutical Company. So obviously they do have things going on, that, and as I mentioned before, Rough. They are working with Rough. So if Rough is one of the largest IoT developers, and it's also written in JavaScript, which is great since that's being the world-renowned or the most utilized programming language in the world right now. So basically, if they're in talks with Rough, with a pharmaceutical company, I know there's talks about Huawei, IBM, Microsoft on their website as well. I don't have any links to any of these partnerships, but I do know that Rough, for sure, and I know the pharmaceutical is absolutely in the books right now. So in the future, INT basically will implement data transmissions between Internet of Things and the nodes directly. Basically what they're going to do is be the main focus for IoT sensors, IoT companies, anybody who's using IoT devices. So I think IoT, as I mentioned, is going to be big. This is just a little graph that I thought was fun to look at. So basically you're looking at a 2020 graph again, like I like saying. So here you can see this is where we're at right now. There's a little red line here you probably can't see, but it's pretty much steady, and that will mean even in 2020 people would have about 1.2 mobile devices per person. 2020, that could be up to 27.9 IoT devices that you're in contact with in 2020. I think that's fantastic. That means that in almost every matter of your home, your life, your work, you're going to have some impact with IoT devices. So right now, it's probably looking like quarter of that, not even a quarter of that, maybe an eighth. So let's say maybe you're, looking at about 4 IoT devices right now. So I think it's a fantastic idea. If you want to look at how IoT works, I definitely would recommend look at how it works, Internet of Things. IBM has a great video that will kind of go through how things interconnect, why it's good to have, and where we're going to be. I'll leave you on one last note. Obviously, IOTA, Internet Node Token, the same world we live in. Where could we see ourselves? Right now, we're looking at a really bad market cap on January 22nd, 2018. Things are pretty much in the red. A lot of FUD going around. But if we look at the overall market cap for IOTA, which is not that high, it was over, I think, 8 the other day. 8 billion, that is. If IOTA, with the $6.5 billion market cap, it's about $2.34. If an INT is only 115 million at 77 cents, if it would to reach 10%, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100% of IOTA's market cap, you can see the growth potential. $4.34, $10.86. Where I see it going, I'm not going to speculate. I think it has a lot of room to grow. Their main net should be up by the end of this month, or their test net should be up by the end of this month. So we are definitely looking at a lot of growth, a lot of things coming. I think INT shouldn't be slept on. Definitely check it out. Do your own research. Let me know what you guys think. Shoot me a comment below if you guys liked it. Please subscribe. I want to thank everybody who's been subscribing. I've definitely gone up quite a bit in the past week or two. So thank you all. Really couldn't have done it without you guys. Next time I'll shoot out the message in the beginning. Man, I forget these things. It takes like 7 tries to make these videos. So please like, subscribe. I might do a giveaway next week. We'll see how things go. And definitely let me know what you guys, what I should do next. I'll take another poll. Check out my Twitter. Maybe I'll do another poll tomorrow and see what you guys think for, user submitted poll number 2. All right, guys, have a great day.